these provisions to protect children, to make sure that the families are the most important aspect of our laws and our policies. Because going forward, we don't want to see Jim Crow repeated. Going forward, we don't want to see the segregation completely still happening, where voices are silenced in our community. Do you have another question from the community, Fabian?
So, my question derives from your answer to Monica's question, and specifically your statement about why you're not supporting Measure K, which is because you believe that it's going to protect criminals. Sheriff, I urge you to, when making that statement of why you're not going to support this, to take into consideration that in our system, in the federal government, the way our system is run here in the United States, it systematically oppresses certain communities. So we want to take it on your argument about how some of these people who are criminals are going to be protected. Systematically, they're kept in those positions of being labeled as criminals, of that rhetoric of being labeled as criminals because of how they're oppressed in our system, because they're kept in the cycle of oppression. They keep into those actions that you, as yourself, can label as criminal activities because that's all they can do to help their families, because our system oppresses people of color, our system oppresses those communities. And Sheriff, I really urge you, next time when you explain why you're not supporting Measure K, you need to take that into consideration, how our system treats people of color when they are living in our country. My question to you is, when you see already that the system that is supported by the federal government oppresses certain communities because of the way the system is structured, will you listen to our voices and recognize our knowledge of why we're supporting Measure K and why we urge you to support Measure K? Will you please fight against that very system by supporting Measure K? Because when you took the oath as sheriff, you took an oath to protect our community, not to be an agent to a controversial executive office at Washington, D.C., and you are not taking an oath to defend a broken and systematically oppressive system. Because my father took the very same oath when he became a sheriff deputy in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. And himself supporting a measurement like this is not just a step closer to progress in a big city, but in a country where there are more small towns and more rural communities than large metropolis cities. By a sheriff of a small rural community, if supporting Measure K, you're not just making an impact in a small community such as Arcata, but you're making an impact that the whole country is going to recognize. Because if they see you as a sheriff of a rural community taking the steps forward into a more progressive future, you are going to make that impact. So now understanding how our system systematically oppresses certain communities, ignore the fact that you're going to say that Measure K is only to protect criminals. Will you support Measure K, not based on policy, but based on moral actions?
Thank you. I appreciate the impassioned, opinion, and I'm here to listen. Okay, so I appreciate that viewpoint. It's not going to change my mind at this point, but I do appreciate your opinion, and it was well constructed. Thank you.